Hello, my name is Ivana Uade, and I'm the creator of the Facebook group page, JK Lifestyle and Travel. Today we have Miss Deborah Cooper. She's a columnist. She gives dating advice for relationships, and I was so glad that she consented to come on today to talk to us. Hi, Miss Cooper, how are you doing?
Hey, Vaughn, it's good to be here.
I'm so glad to have you here. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself? I know you wrote 5 books, 3 of them on relationships. I know you write columns about people who write into you with needing advice. I know you provide that. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I got started in this field in college, believe it or not. I did an internship and I started writing the advice column for that, and just kind of morphed from there. I worked for AL briefly at .com, and then I started my own site in '97. I've since written, like you said, several different books on relationships, and there's thousands of articles on my two blogs, AskCarvey.com and SurvivingDating.com. But my latest thing I'm doing is YouTube. So you can see, I think people like that better because they can see you and
Mm-hmm.
hear you and
Mm-hmm.
interact with you. And so that seems to be a platform that is preferable. So I haven't really been writing that much lately. And it's youtube.com/Debsterism, all about dating and relationships, primarily focused on Black women.
I'll put that in the notes
Okay.
so people can go there. Okay. What can you tell us about relationships?
That, by the time I hear about them, they're already a hot mess. So,
Mm-hmm.
nobody writes an advice column just to say, oh, let me tell you about the lovely relationship I have and how
Yeah.
wonderful my love is. They don't do that. They write with the problems.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm seeing a lot of lately is, well, like probably for the last 20 years, is young women don't have boundaries. They will do and accept anything from men and call it a relationship. It is just astounding to me, the disrespect that they accept and the abusive language, abusive treatment, the games that they get run on them. And it's like, I feel it's frustrating for me, Yvonne, because I've been doing this for so long. You touch like, over the period of time, millions of people's lives, but it still feels like the people that need to get the information aren't getting it. I don't know what to do. So I appreciate you. Every little new avenue I have to reach new people, I appreciate it.
What are some of the games that a guy will play in a
Uh,
relationship that he's having with a woman?
uh, well, God, there's so many. I just did a video on it about players, but with the chief relationship trauma is involves around sex. Trying to play women to get uncommitted involvement. They would lie about their depths of their feelings. They would lie that they have any feelings at all. They
Mhm.
will string women along, what I call breadcrumbing, where they keep saying, well, why do we have to put a label on it? Let's just be free and easy. Why you tripping? So the woman wants, she wants to know that what her role is in his life. And the guy just pushes her off with, these games and I don't know, just baiting her, just gives her just enough so where she hangs on,
Mhm.
just enough where she doesn't want to break up, and just enough for her to think that he's going to change, and they never do.
And you know what? It seems like it's set up so, and the woman will give more and more and more, thinking that the more she gives, that he'll think how wonderful she is, and she will get what it is that she wants from him, which is probably commitment, love, you
All
know.
that.
Mhm.
That's one of the games too. They kind of play this game where they will start to tell you, how some other woman uh, didn't treat them the way they want to be treated.
Mhm.
So what that does, like if you're a woman who cares, which is never me, you start to put yourself into a situation where you feel like you're competing for this
Mhm.
guy's attention and for the commitment, and you're gonna be like the Wonder Woman that he didn't have the last time. You're gonna prove that you are better than that other woman, and so he should pick you. And that's a trap that they set to make to, you're going to be jumping through hoops to try to get this man who's really, if he's playing that kind of game with you, it's not even worth getting. If they try to set you up or they kind of pit you against another woman, you should deuce out immediately.
Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, they're receiving, but they're giving very little back.
Right.
How do you know when a relationship should be something that you should leave? How do you know when
That's a
it's,
good question because most women, that from what I see, don't seem to have a good grasp of that. In my mind, a relationship, there's two key issues. Number one is you're involved with a man who's not giving you the relationship that you need. You have to beg him for time. You have to beg him for attention. You have to beg him to, spend time with you, to tell you the truth, to be, to move the relationship forward towards more commitment, towards getting engaged, towards marriage. Anything you want that he's not giving you, that is a sign, especially after you asked it for it. It's not, men aren't mind readers. So you say, well, I would like, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, yeah, 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 yeah. But it never happens. That's a sign that you're being breadcrumbed and that, it's a silly situation. The second issue is if you say no about something or you say you don't want to do something, you put some kind of limits in place and he pressures you to do what he wants you to do instead of what you said you want to do, that's a boundary violation. Likewise, that is disrespect for you.
Mhm.
Likewise, anything when he calls you names, calls you out your name, puts down your interests, puts down your children, does anything that hurts you intentionally, then you have a situation where you're being abused, and that a lot of people, I think, because they were abused as children or in abusive households, don't recognize that as abuse. That's just normal to them,
Mhm.
and unfortunately, they stay in a situation and they end up, ultimately very, very hurt. So to me, those are two things which should immediately you should leave that relationship.
Those are what you call red lights or,
Oh, red flags.
yeah, red flags. Seems like that.
Oh, there's so many red flags, girl. These people be having parades of red flags, and they still want to stay in a relationship. I don't get it.
Give me an example of some more things that someone
Well,
look at
lately,
and say it's a problem.
um, with for a lot of young women have a situation where the guy is, he has like a baby mama, ex-wife, something like that,
Mhm.
and this woman is trying to interfere in their relationship, and they write asking me how they can get her to stop. And it's not your job to do that. That's his job. That was his ex. And
Mhm.
if she's causing problems for you and he's not running interference, that alone is a big problem. That's a very common one. That
Mhm.
just happens a lot. I don't know. So then leaves you to think, well, God, is this guy, he's just playing both women. He's got both of them thinking that, he's trying to make a decision between which one he's going to pick. And
Mhm.
so they're both competing for him and want to be fighting over him and all this old stuff.
What are the chances that the new person will say, no, I have to walk away from this?
Not very common, Yvonne. That's how come I find out about it because they be writing me. Say, what should I do?
I think some people feel like I really love this guy. He's a good man, he's a good person. It's just this one little problem that we have to work through, and then it'd be great. I think they think like that. I don't think that people think um, this is a pattern. This is something that if it's starting out this way, it will continue. But you know what? I don't think guys show you that at first. I think they show you what it is that they think you want. Then after the feelings gets involved, then they do all that other thing, all that other stuff because it's harder to walk away.
That is
That's what
why
I get
one
to
of the
know.
things I tell women, my cousin and I had a debate about this because she's on the opposite side. You know how guys, you go on an early date and they say, well, what are you looking for? That is a
Mhm,
trick question. Don't ever answer that question. Let me
mhm.
tell you how that game runs. Okay, so you thinking, oh, we're gonna share how what we are looking for to make sure that we're on the same page and we're gonna move forward. So that is a trick question because what he's trying to do is figure out what you want, and then he's gonna parrot that back to you, and that's what I want too. He's going to say, and you, not knowing any different because you naively told him what you wanted, feel like, oh my God, we're on the same, we want the same things. We're gonna have a relationship. This is gonna be wonderful. In reality, he just running game, So my cousin said she always wants to tell him because she doesn't want to waste her time. But I'm saying no, you are wasting your time because you're giving him a script to follow to get you. Then you should keep your mouth closed. You don't say anything like that. If he asks what you're looking for, say I don't know. Let's see what you got, and then I'll let you know if it works for me.
But that's what I used to read. Have a conversation with a guy, and then you let him know what it is that you want. And that
Hmm.
way, you could tell if you are wasting your time. But I feel like what you said has more merit. It's like, why sit there and expose your whole hand so that somebody can pick and choose what they want from it to deceive you or manipulate you?
I'm of the mind that women just talk too much. They tell too much. Bottom line, a lot of young girls, the guys will ask you this question, like, how many men they've been with before.
Mhm.
It's another question you should never answer.
Okay. What
Never,
are,
ever.
okay. What are the qualities that a person should have that if you meet a guy, what qualities should he have or what behavior should he exhibit toward you to let you know that he would be a good person, a good addition to your life?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily make that kind of judgment right off. I don't know. To me, it's like a job, interview. You apply for a job right before you even get set up for an interview. You have to meet what's called the MQs, right? The MQs, minimum qualifications. The minimum qualification should be, someone who's employed, gainfully employed, mature, responsible, accountable for himself and the decisions that he makes. His life is together. Okay, those are the MQs, and he's ready for, a love. Then once you meet him and you start interacting with him, he should be exhibiting signs of respectfulness towards you and women in general. He should be truthful, even if it makes him uncomfortable to have to tell you, what a truth is. Like, maybe this isn't really working for me, or, whatever. He should be honest about it. You want a man who's like a man of his word, who's going to do what he says he's going to do, be where he says he's going to be, and someone that you can rely and trust, you can rely on and trust. And he's proved that by coming through for you. Little things like, he says, I'm going to call you at such and such, and I'll pick you up at 7. And then he calls you at 7:30 and he's still not there. Okay, now we're in shaky territory. A lot of women will overlook that kind of stuff though. But to me, that is a sign of a man's integrity and doing what he says he's going to do. How are you supposed to build up trust in him when he can't even do stuff like keep a date and make a phone call in time? But you're supposed to give me your whole heart? No, no,
It's like go by their actions,
exactly,
not by what comes out of their mouth.
exactly.
Okay, well, gave a lot of information,
Yeah, I tend to do that.
but I like it. So I want to say thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
I like talking to you, and
Yeah,
I
you
like
ask
what
good
you.
questions.
Thank you, and I like your answers. Truthful, direct, full of information, and will you come back?
Sure, just reach out.
I
And I
definitely.
felt bad because you reached out and then I didn't even see your message for what, 2 months or something. That was kind of
But
embarrassing.
you know what? You know what? Like I told you, it came at the right time, and it came when I needed you to write me because it meant a lot of other things. So I enjoy talking to people. I didn't realize how much. And I was wondering, maybe I won't do this anymore. But when you reached out to me, when you answered my email to you, it just made me feel like it's something that I want to do, and that because I enjoy doing it, that I should continue. And I think the
Definitely.
information that the people that I interview give to me is helpful to me. And I believe that is helpful to other people too. So thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, anytime I can reach young ladies and help them realize, their value and worth and how they don't have to sacrifice themselves for a relationship, it's a good day. So thank you for having me on.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye bye.